has a great gig. He plays at this nightclub in New York called the Ear Inn, and it's Sunday nights. What are the hours?
8 to 11.
8 to 11. It's a great place. It's good jazz. He has a lot of really high guys. High guys.
Can I get that, John?
Some of the higher echelon players come in there and jam. And it's Sunday night, so check that out if you're running around New York City without anything to do, you know. But anyway, I hope you folks share our respect and admiration and how much we miss these great jazz players that we all got a chance to work with at the Jubilee and other jazz festivals that, you know, a lot of the jazz festivals were kind of spin-offs of the Sacramento Jubilee. I was here not for the first Jubilee, for the second one, and my job was to fill in for several bands who, trombone players either were getting off late at school or something like that anyway, so I was a professional sub there for the second year, which was interesting. But a lot of things have changed over the years. Drinks are really expensive now. But I guess that's a sign to tell you I was free. But things change. Anyway.
Things ain't what they used to be.
We really miss the guys in that picture. And I'm sure you do too. And if you have any of their recorded works, we are going to assign a task to you, and that is to, when you get home from the Jubilee, find some of those recordings of theirs that you bought over the years, sit down in your favorite chair, pour a martini or a glass of wine, and re-listen to the likes of these wonderful and talented musicians, Tom Saunders, Jake Hanna, Eddie Higgins, and Chuck Hedges. Do that, just your own little personal tribute. One quick Eddie Higgins story for me. Oh, yeah.
Something in his own band.
I was playing at what was then the Mid-America Jazz Festival. This guy named Charlie Wells used to put that on. He'd bring in some pretty heavy hitters. It was a nice festival. And Eddie Higgins was on the stand. I forget exactly who was in the rhythm section, but we had there was probably 400 or 500 people there. It was a huge place where they had it. And I was asked by the leader of the band, I think it was Glenn Zatola then, and he said, do a ballad. So I looked over at Eddie. Now Eddie Higgins and I shared one other thing, and that is we were both getting pretty hard of hearing by standing in front of trumpets and cymbals for a lot of years. And no offense. And so I'm sure Eddie didn't hear me, but he said, what do you want to do? I said, Skylark, Hoagie Skylark, nice tune, good tune. He said, what key? I said E flat. And so he played a beautiful piano introduction in B flat. Now my choice at that particular moment was to either say, oh, Eddie, I'm sorry, man, you misunderstood me. I said E flat, not B flat. My other choice was to play the tune and not make a big thing out of it. So I had the pleasure of standing up in front of 500 people and learning Skylark in B flat. And I got through it, we'll put that. And then we chatted after the set and had a good laugh over it. But anyway, those are the things that happened. But what a great guy. All of these guys to work with, we'll miss them. Their families miss them. They will go down in the jazz annals as some of the great players that contributed to our art form that we enjoy and partake in. So we're going to close out. What's that?
I've got a Tommy story right now.
You got a Tommy story? Lay it on.
Yeah. Years back when Tommy first came, back when Don Goldie was still coming and a lot of the other greats, Wild Bill was coming, he used to come early and we'd play the pancake breakfast party the Thursday night before when it used to be over in West Sac. And it was a party for the volunteers that ran the pancake breakfast. So we're playing this gig, and it's with the Fulton Street Band. Roger was the director back then. He's playing bass. And they have a kazoo march that comes through here. So they're all coming through in these kazoos, and they're playing kazoos. And this one lady's got it around backwards. She can't get any sound out of it. And Tommy, just being himself, says, well, Jesus, lady, if you can't play, just sit down. Jokingly. Well, she took exception to this. She says, what's your name? I know the festival director, and I'll have you kicked out. You won't ever come back again. Every break, she's on him. I mean, she's on him through 4 sets. And at the end of the gig, Tommy's introducing all the people in the band. And he gets to himself and he says, and I'm Don Goldie. Don Goldie sent him a box of kazoos.
We could go on and on. Back in 1984, I recorded a CD, or not a CD, an LP. Was it a cylinder? No, I think it was an LP. With Eddie Higgins called Singin' the Blues. We're going to close the set with such a tune. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing us to kind of gloat a little bit over these guys. But they're the best, and we miss them, and this has been a pleasure to have a little musical tribute to them. This is Singin' the Blues for our guys on the poster there.
Eddie Higgins' favorite tune.
We got beat for it. No. Thank you. Coming up, Bonnie